With a swift stroke of a pen, Prime Minister Mark Carney eliminated the consumer carbon tax rate, ensuring Canadians no longer have to pay it on fuels. This move effectively nullified one of the Liberals' most contentious policies just ahead of an anticipated election announcement. On Friday afternoon, Carney invited cameras into the Cabinet Room on Parliament Hill to witness him signing the document that reduced the tax rate to zero. This gesture represented a significant shift from traditional Canadian leadership practices, echoing a style more commonly associated with U.S. President Donald Trump, who frequently invites the media to observe him signing executive orders in the Oval Office. However, the boardroom setting was familiar territory for Carney, given his extensive private sector experience and his tenure as a central bank governor in both Canada and England. As cabinet ministers observed, Carney made brief remarks before opening a red folder placed before him. This cabinet has already made a significant decision, as we are focused on action, putting more money in Canadians' pockets and building the economy, he stated at the cabinet table. Based on our discussions and in line with the promise made during the Liberal leadership campaign, we will immediately eliminate the Canada fuel charge, the consumer fuel charge. Carney clarified that Canadians expecting a carbon tax rebate next month would still receive it, meaning checks could arrive during the election campaign, which he is widely expected to initiate within the next 2 weeks. This will make a difference for hard-pressed Canadians, but it is part of a broader set of measures this government is taking to combat climate change, ensure our companies remain competitive, and move the country forward, Carney explained. Technically, Carney eliminated the consumer carbon tax through regulation, reducing the price to zero, as explained by Stephen Guilbeault, the outgoing environment minister and anti-oil activist who was reassigned to the Heritage Ministry on Friday. Carney had signaled his intention to eliminate the tax after being sworn in as Canada's 24th Prime Minister earlier that day. Fulfilling this pledge dealt a blow to Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, who has spent the past 2 years campaigning across the country with a promise to axe the tax, blaming it for rising food and fuel costs. Thousands of Conservative supporters and other Canadians have rallied around this promise, which Poilievre described as iconic in a January conversation with right-wing commentator Jordan Peterson. Recently, however, Poilievre has had to pivot his message away from a carbon tax election, as Canadians grow increasingly concerned about U.S. President Donald Trump's trade war with Canada and his comments on annexation. Carney is positioning himself as the leader with the economic and management expertise needed to confront Trump. Carney has expressed openness to seeking a mandate directly from Canadians rather than returning to Parliament, which is set to reconvene on March 24. Under former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who officially resigned on Friday, the Liberals had dismissed Poilievre's criticisms as exaggerated and accused him of exploiting Canadians' anxieties about the cost of living, which surged as inflation rose following the COVID-19 pandemic.